Hello students, this is Dr. R.K. Upadhyay, PGT Biology from Kendriya Vidyalaya 39 GTC Varanasi Kent. Today I am going to deal with process of oogenesis, that is the formation of ovum inside the ovary of female body. How many ovaries are present in the female body? That is the one pair ovaries are present in the female body, that is 2 number. Okay, and in these ovary the main process is the formation of ovum, that is also known as oogenesis. This is the structure of ovum which contains the female nucleus and different type of layer, corona, radiata, zona pellucida, cortical granules and cytoplasm are there inside the cell, and that is the ovum, and the formation of ovum is known as oogenesis. Oogenesis is started in the ovary. This is the ovary where process of oogenesis takes place, and that ovary is attached with the fallopian tube, and finally fallopian tube attached with the uterus. We have to confine at the ovary where the oogenesis process takes place. And what is the product of oogenesis? It is always ovum, and the site is the ovary, and number of the chromosomes in the ovum is always 23, and that ovum develops in the ovary by the process of oogenesis. That is a different process and a very complicated process, and the number of ovum released from each ovary is 1. Here the egg is written, actually ovum is egg is the mature form of ovum. Okay, so from each ovary 1 ovum is released in a month. There are 2 ovaries, 1 ovary and 2 ovary, and in a month 1 ovary will released ovum, and in another month second ovary will release ovum, and there is a chemical coordination in between these 2 ovaries, that in a month only 1 ovary is functional and release ovum, or that may perform the process of oogenesis. So what is the process of oogenesis and how that ovum is produced? The complete study we will look later. And the oogenesis, the most interesting part of that oogenesis is that oogenesis takes place during the fetus condition, means when a female girl child is inside the womb of her mother. So that embryonic stage, when the fetus attain the age of 6 to 7 weeks, the process of oogenesis started. But in male, the spermatogenesis occur only after the puberty age. That is the basic difference between oogenesis and spermatogenesis. Oogenesis occur in embryonic stage when fetus is only about 6 to 7 week old, and up to the 20 week age of fetus there are 6 to 7 million oogonia. What is oogonia? We will discuss later. 6 to 7 million oogonia are formed, but at the time of birth that oogonia remains only 2 million, about 2 million. These are the literature values, may differ in some literatures, but on an average about 6 to 7 week old fetus start oogenesis, and when that fetus is about 20 week old, that has 6 to 7 million oogonia, and at the time of birth that have only 2 million oogonia are present in the ovary. And at puberty, means when a girl attains 12 to 13 age, that is actually a theoretical data, when the girl start menstrual cycle, that is the indication of onset of puberty, that have only 60,000 to 8,000 oogonia in the form of oocyte. Okay, what are these oocytes? These oocytes are formed by these oogonia cell. So now we have to focus on these values. 6 to 7 week old fetus start oogenesis. when fetus attain the age of 20 weeks, they have 6 to 7 million oogonia. At the time of birth, they only have 2 million oogonia, and at the age of puberty, means when menstrual cycle started, that contains 60,000 to 80,000 oogonia that will develop into the oocyte up to the period of puberty age. And there are three stages of oogenesis. Prenatal stage means fetal stage. Fetal stage means when there are formation of 6 to 7 million oogonia. Oogonia are those cells which later form oocyte. Okay, so first of all, oogonia is formed. Oogonia later form oocytes, and these oocytes form ovum. So at the prenatal stage, there is formation of oogonia. At the puberty stage, there are 60 to 80,000 oocyte. Okay, there is oogonia. I can abbreviate it as oogonia, and at puberty stage, that is the oocyte. And only after the fertilization, that oogenesis completed and ovum is formed. So the process of oogenesis which started at the prenatal stage, means at the fetus stage inside the womb, continues till the puberty, and the completion of that oogenesis occur only after the fertilization with sperm. If that sperm not combined with the female gamete, the process of oogenesis remains incomplete, and the unfertilized ovum, that is actually secondary oocyte, be released during the menstrual cycle. What are these oogonia? As I told earlier, that these oogonia are formed during the fetus condition inside the womb of mother. Started at 6 to 7 week old fetus, and till birth they form many oogonia by the division of mitosis. Means these ovary, suppose that this is ovary that contains a primordial cells. Which cells? Primordial cells. These primordial cells divide by mitosis division and increase in their number to form the oogonia. The oogonia divide by mitotic division to form egg nest. There is a formation of egg nest. Egg nest means a site where many oogonia are situated, or you can say that is the cluster of oogonia, that is the egg nest. One egg from that egg nest, out of these so many egg nest, only one cell grow and matures into the primary oocyte. Okay. So what is the egg nest? Egg nest contains too many oogonia. Out of these too many oogonia, only one matures and form primary oocyte. So we can repeat here. This is the ovary. That ovary contains primordial cells. That primordial cells form oogonia. Out of millions of oogonia, they form egg nest, and only one matures into the primary oocyte. So what is the primary oocyte? Primary oocyte is nothing, it is a matured oogonia which can now enter into oogenesis process. Okay. I mean, during the formation of these oogonia and oocyte, remember one thing, oogonia have to convert into ovum. and in between these there are different steps occur. One more important step is the formation of primary oocyte and other is the secondary oocyte. Primary oocyte and secondary oocyte. In the earlier slide we can see how the primary oocyte is formed. How the primary oocyte is formed, that is the oob out of millions of oogonia, one matures into the primary oocyte, and that primary oocyte is formed by the division of mitosis. It has to remember you that this is due to the division of mitosis. So by which division primary oocyte of form, that is by mitosis. Now that primary oocyte undergo in meiosis, to form secondary oocyte, but during that course, okay, so primary oocyte will develop into secondary oocyte by the process of meiosis 1 and temporarily undergo that in the meiotic arrest position, that is known as meiotic arrest. What is the meiotic arrest? That oogonium which form the primary oocyte undergo meiotic arrest, means meiosis division stops here at the prophase 1, meiotic prophase 1 at the developing stage, and the number of primary oocyte remains 60 to 80,000 during the birth. After the birth, the female have 60 to 80,000 primary oocyte that undergo meiosis and remain meiotic arrest, means there is no further meiosis division occur. When will that division continues, I will tell you later. So out of these only 400 primary oocyte will enter the menstrual cycle out of 60,000 to 80,000 primary oocyte that is formed, that is present in the nascent baby after the birth. Out of these only 400 primary oocyte will enter into the menstrual cycle, okay, and out of these 400 only one will form ovum during the each menstrual cycle. These are the actually only data. Meiosis was completed about 36 to 48 years prior to ovulation. So what is the meiotic arrest? The primary oocyte started, that is the primary oocyte, meiosis 1 and meiotic arrest takes place, okay, and that will form secondary oocyte. That is actually the condition where the oogonia divides by mitosis division to form primary oocyte, okay, and that primary oocyte undergo meiotic arrest in the prophase 1, but during the puberty age, when the puberty age reaches of a female girl, that meiosis 1 arrest broken down and the meiosis continues, and meiosis 1 completed to form secondary oocyte and one small polar body. Here polar body is formed due to unequal distribution of cytoplasm. Most of the cytoplasm of that cell is distributed towards the secondary oocyte, because during the menstrual cycle, during the oogenesis process, only one ovum has to form. That's why during the meiosis 1 there should be two cells formed, but in the case of oogenesis one cell is larger and other cell is smaller. That smaller cell is known as polar body. It is due to the unequal distribution of the cytoplasm as well as to maintain the number of chromosome. Polar body play a very significant role during the for the maintenance of that chromosome number. So when puberty age reaches, that meiotic arrest broken down and the secondary oocytes are formed, and a small polar body is also formed. The another interesting thing, at this stage the meiosis again go at the arrest phase. Previously we can see there is meiotic arrest 1 before the puberty age. Now puberty age reaches, after the formation of secondary oocyte there is meiotic arrest 2. The meiotic arrest 1 is before the puberty age when primary oocyte is formed, and meiotic arrest 2 is when the secondary oocyte is formed. Meiotic arrest 1 is at the prophase 1, obviously at the developing stage, and the meiotic arrest 2 is at the metaphase state. So there are two type of arrests during the oogenesis: meiotic arrest 1 that I previously told you, and now the meiotic arrest 2, that is the meiotic arrest 2. After puberty, it occurs after puberty, meiosis 1 continues, one polar body and secondary oocyte is formed. After the formation of secondary oocyte, there is the meiotic arrest 2 at metaphase state, and that meiotic arrest 2 will remain continued till the fertilization of sperm. What happens if fertilization does not take place? Then in absence of fertilization, that secondary oocyte will release during the menstrual cycle. So in the menstrual cycle, secondary oocyte is released, and the onset of menstrual cycle means there is no fertilization. If that oocyte is fertilized with sperm, there will be no menstrual cycle occur. Okay, and that is the summary. What happens before the birth? Oogonium divides by mitosis division to form the primary oocytes that will undergo into the meiotic arrest 1 prophase 1 stage, and after the puberty meiosis continues to form secondary oocytes and a tiny polar body. When the secondary oocyte is formed, there is again a meiotic arrest at the metaphase 2 of meiosis 2, and that meiotic arrest will continues only after the fertilization with sperm. Why is it so? Why they wait for the sperm? That is the reason behind the meiotic arrest. Actually, egg doesn't have their own centriole. Egg doesn't have their own centriole that have very important role during the meiosis 2 division. Without centriole, there is no segregation of the chromosomes. So egg secondary oocyte do not have their centriole, and the sperm has its own centriole. So during the fertilization, when sperm fuses with egg, it transfers its centriole from the middle piece, from the neck to the egg. Means here sperm is the donor of centriole, and after getting that centriole, meiosis 2 begin. And what happens in meiosis 2? So recall, when primary oocyte forms secondary oocyte, there is a formation of one polar body and secondary oocyte, that is the polar body. When meiosis 2 continues after the fertilization, there is a formation of ovum and a second polar body. So there is two type of polar bodies formed, first polar body and the second polar body. First polar body is formed when primary oocyte undergo meiosis 1 to form a polar body and secondary oocyte, and second polar body is formed when when primary oocyte undergo division to form the secondary oocyte. There is one polar body. When secondary oocyte fuses with the sperm, there is formation of second polar body and a ovum is formed. In this way, sperm needed for the completion of that oogenesis. And one more interesting fact is here, that primary oocyte, suppose that is the primary oocyte, that is protected by a layer of granulosa layer, a follicular layer, that is known as granulosa theca, and at that stage that is known as primary follicle. There are some small cavities are also observed in the primary follicle. The primary follicle is nothing but it contains primary oocyte. You can see in this slide, that is the primary follicle, and that is the primary oocyte, and that is the follicular cells. All this combined to form primary oocyte. So primary follicle contains primary oocyte and a layer of theca, that is the granulosa cell, and small cavities may be observed in the primary follicle. Now primary follicle, suppose that this is the primary follicle, contains primary oocyte. There is formation of more layers, that is theca externa, theca interna, and antrum. A large cavity is observed in the secondary follicle. So secondary follicle contains two layers, theca externa, theca interna cavity, and inside that primary oocyte, that is progressively in the way to change into secondary oocyte. So primary follicle and secondary follicle are actually protective form, and that is the secondary follicle. That is the secondary follicle, that is the primary follicle. What is the difference between primary follicle and secondary follicle? There is addition of more layer. Here is only one theca, here is two theca. Inside here there is small cavities, there is a large cavity is present in the secondary follicle. So during the formation of ovum, the primary follicle will convert into the secondary follicle, and finally that secondary follicle, when that large cavity is filled with fluid, and that cavity is also known as antrum, it is filled with fluid, then it is known as Graafian follicle. So Graafian follicle is nothing, actually it is the matured secondary follicle, that is also known as primary follicle. So there is primary follicle, then secondary follicle, and now it is tertiary follicle. Primary follicle has layer of theca, secondary follicle has layer of externa theca and theca externa, theca internal, and that is the tertiary follicle, that is characterized by these layers as well as that antrum and cavity filled with the fluid, and that contains secondary oocyte. So Graafian follicle is characterized by two important things. One, it has now secondary oocyte. It has now secondary oocyte, and second is the antrum filled with fluid. That is the characteristic features of the Graafian follicle. That is the Graafian follicle. But there are different layers: granulosa layer, corona radiata layer, as I earlier told in the very first slide, and that is the antrum, and the most important is the secondary oocyte. So Graafian follicle is the mature follicle which contains the secondary oocyte, and when that Graafian follicle rupture, that Graafian follicle actually rupture under the influence of hormones, luteinizing hormone and follicular hormone, luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone. When LS surge occur, when the luteinizing hormone is at peaks, the Graafian follicle rupture and release that secondary oocyte. That secondary oocyte is released, and that secondary oocyte reaches to the fallopian tube where fertilization will take place, and the remaining part of that Graafian follicle, other than that secondary oocyte, it acts as the corpus luteum and endocrine system which secretes progesterone. We will discuss that in another video. So the basic is the Graafian follicle will contain secondary oocyte, and that secondary oocyte release when LS surge occur, means the peak of luteinizing hormone occur, that Graafian follicle breaks and secondary oocyte release, and that secondary oocyte will fuse with sperm. Only then the oogenesis process completes. That is the structure of the ovum. After the fertilization, there is formation of two polar bodies. Polar bodies are formed when the sperm fuses with the secondary oocyte. What is the role of sperm? Out of many different roles, it also provides the centriole to the secondary oocyte to complete the process of oogenesis. There is corona radiata, zona pellucida, cytoplasm. Okay, and this is the whole event of the oogenesis, where primary follicle that will contain primary oocyte is converted into secondary follicle that may contain primary or secondary oocyte, and finally into the Graafian follicle that is characterized by presence of the secondary oocyte as well as a large antrum. That broken down due to the LS surge, and secondary oocyte releases in the ovary. In this way the process of oogenesis is completed, and this is the different names which occur during the process of oogenesis. That is the oogonium, that eugonium, that is the diploid, and the formation of oocytogenesis. Formation of oogonium is known as oocytogenesis during the third semester in the embryonic stage of fetus. That is the primary oocyte. There are 60,000 to 80,000 primary oocytes are formed after the birth, and that undergo the meiotic arrest 1. Then the secondary oocyte is formed by the primary oocyte by the process of meiosis 1. Here meiotic arrest 2 occur, and that secondary oocyte will develop into the oocyte only after the fertilization process. In this way oogenesis process occur inside the ovary. Thank you.